Extremely disappointed. The vast majority of the people who were there last night turned up to enjoy and watch the game of football that was played out in a really passionate environment and a great atmosphere, and it was spoilt at the end by the people who decided to undertake criminal behaviour.
Big disappointment, I suppose, for the police and for the clubs.
Very much so. Everyone was hoping that they'd put on a showcase of football in the second city, and that would be an example that we could show around the world with pride. And the match was great. Sadly, we had that pitch invasion at the end, which soured the event, I think.
Was it expected, anything like this?
Certainly no one would anticipate a pitch invasion. It's been many years since we've had that sort of behaviour.
Is it a case, as Alex McLeish said, when you see a scene like that, you immediately think of the dark days of football hooliganism?
It truly is a flashback. There are perhaps cops who have been in the job 25, 30 years who went back to the future there. That's not the face of modern football.
One thing that was noticeable from the pictures was a flare was being thrown around. How was that allowed to get in?
I truly don't know. The searching is carried out when people do come in, so it's really hard for me to explain how that's got in, but quite frankly that shouldn't have happened.
Is there any lessons to be learnt from this?
Well, I think the lesson that we should take pride in is that when you see the footage, you will see police officers in the background running to put themselves between the two opposing sets of supporters. We should be proud of the way in which the vast majority of the people behaved last night, and particularly my officers, of whom I'm extremely proud.
How much are you looking to prosecute here?
Oh, very much so. We've already started a post-incident inquiry. We'll be using all the CCTV. We have officers with cameras who will be gathering evidence. We will use that evidence to prosecute any wrongdoers to the full extent of the law. They could face criminal sentences and also bans from football in the future.
What's your message to anyone who's engaged in this kind of activity or who is thinking of doing so again?
Well, if you did it last night, you're probably best off heading yourself into a police station sooner rather than later, because you will be identified and you will be caught. And for those in the future, you will be turning yourself into a criminal, giving yourself a criminal record, and effectively banning yourself from football for the future. So basically there's no future in that sort of behaviour in our football grounds.
Is there a sense now that for the next Blues Villa derby you will have to ramp up security, or were you satisfied that you had the officers there?
I'm still satisfied that we had the appropriate resources. Blues play Villa early next year in the middle of January. I'm confident that we can still deliver a first-class policing service. Was
part of the problem here that it was a knockout cup game and tempers were going to be a bit higher?
Potentially. I think there's also other factors. The fact that it was played in the evening time, whereas our league fixtures kick off at midday. But I'm not going to make any excuse for the way people behave. There is no excuse for that.
Obviously, the timing is very poor with England's World Cup bid tomorrow. Do you think something like this could have an effect?
I sincerely hope not. Anyone who watched the game will have seen a cracking atmosphere, lots of passion, all the things that English football is known for, that it's famous for. And ultimately, we can say we should also be proud of the policing service, which restored order in relatively quick time, less than 10 minutes.